a chance. On this rabbit show, it's time to do the dance. Go back door, we're in the zone. We're still stuck the media road. Free to go, let's rock and roll. Packers pride, let's take control.
All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Matt Remich Show, and it's the post-game show. We got Jimmy over here. Big shout to Quick Trip sponsoring the Matt Remich Show. You know what I mean? Go over there tomorrow morning. You might be a little hungover. You're just trying to get out of bed, try to get some in the old belly. Here's what I suggest for a good hangover, all right? If you're out here celebrating and whatnot, having a good time tonight, you got to work tomorrow, go down there to Quick Trip. Get the glazes are good, but the cake donuts without any frosting on them, they fill your stomach. They kind of get that, you know, they absorb all the alcohol. Then maybe you get yourself a Gatorade, maybe a chocolate milk. I like the chocolate milk, but it depends how hungover you are. If you're too hungover, chocolate milk ain't for you.
I was gonna say.
Definitely get some Gatorade in you. But, you know, if you don't got to work and you get up a little later, chocolate milk's good. But, yeah, Quick Trip's got the hangover remedies for you. You know what I mean?
See, I need pickles when I'm hungover. I'll eat a whole jar of eat the jar of pickles, drink the pickle juice. After that, I'm back.
Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant?
I might be, honestly.
Also, big shout to Nick Law. You know, they're rocking with us. If you get hurt in an accident and insurance companies are trying to be weird with you, Nick Law, they're going to take care of you. But, Jimmy, how you doing? How'd you enjoy the game? This is the post-game show, so we're going to talk about this Packers victory a little bit.
Dude, the game, I was nervous at half. I'm not going to lie. My wife's sick, so I was on kid duty. So I have like a 1-year-old running around. My 3-year-old's climbing on me. My daughter's asking me for something. And I felt bad because at one point I was like, guys, I just want to watch the game. I don't care what you do right now, but leave me alone.
That's the thing. Like when you're like on parent duty, like, you know, the kids are around you and you're watching the game. Every now and again something happens and you're like the kids jumping on you. You're like, son of a! You gotta yeet kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interception.
The amount of words I had to like fill in to cover up swears today was impressive. Honestly, I think I broke my record. You know, try not to swear in front of them too much, but it was a good game, man. They came out at half and they switched it up. The offense looked like Tucker Kraft looked like a dog. It's not even looked like anymore. Tucker Kraft is a dog. Does not go down much at first contact. Stiff arms, gets that big, 66-yard touchdown. It was that caught me off guard. It definitely was it was a great second half. This defense though still makes me worried. I was so anxious that last drive because it looked like they could just do whatever they wanted. And I know we were playing a little bit soft, not to give up a big play, but still, man, tackle them in bounds, do something. And thankfully Evan Williams did. So
yeah, that like we can, you know, the second half, like I said at halftime, like they're going to come out. The Packers are like a second half kind of team, but they made it interesting. And I get like you said, they were trying to keep everything in front of them, run the clock, you know, like make sure like if you're going to come down the field, you're going to have to use that clock to do it. And you know, they won. And it's kind of the same thing that we were bashing Viking fans for. First of all, Viking fans irritated me because they were like, that was all garbage time. Like, well, first of all, there was 10 minutes left. It was a one-possession game. It wasn't garbage time. I mean, they were coming back like the whole time. They should have been on it. But and I'm not saying that this was garbage time, but like when you have that lead, it's kind of hard. Like, do you want to be aggressive? Because now if you're aggressive and you go 3-0, you're screwed. So, or it's the opposite. But, you know, for defense, so, you know, if you get too aggressive on defense, then you get a big play over you. But the same thing with the offense, you know, if you want to run the ball, you want to run the clock, but then if you don't get it, you're screwed. But so do you want to be aggressive? Like, and it doesn't matter what you do, fans are not going to like it.
Oh yeah, no,
but,
definitely not.
They got the win. They had to have a big play. You know, they had to stop them at the end, and they did. And it is what it is. I thought my prediction was 34-17. Did you have a prediction?
Sorry, you cut out for a second. It just came back. Did you ask if I had a prediction?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this restream sucks, maybe. Because I think it takes more internet anyway.
I did 34. Oh, shoot. Sorry, yeah, it keeps cutting out on my end. I did 34-27 or something like that, I think was my prediction.
Yeah. I had 34-17. We were both pretty wrong. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to use Restream anymore. For people watching, I'm using a different like website to like I'm testing it out tonight, and I'm not sure it's going that well. But anyways, yeah. But so let's talk about McKinney. All right. 5 interceptions, 5 games. I feel like there were some people talking trash in my comments on Facebook. It's funny because I posted about it. Can McKinney get 5? I think I think it was the meme was like if he comes to your city, he's picking off your quarterback, and he's like, this didn't age well, but it was before the game. So I was like, what do you mean? It didn't age at all. I just posted it, and the game wasn't played yet. I think this guy was hammered. It's funny because this guy always calls me an alcoholic, but I think he's hammered all the time. So I was like, you're drunk. And I actually think he thought it was Jair Alexander because Jair was, at that same time, Jair was, not going to play. Like they kind of just announced it at that time. So I think, and then he tried to backtrack. He's like, no, with the defense philosophy, it's not going to happen. And then it did happen. So I'm like, where are you at? But I know that guy was drunk, passed out by now. He was drunk this morning.
He didn't make it to halftime for sure.
You know what I mean? He didn't make it to the game. I'm not even sure. But, so the defense doesn't look any better than last year. So let's talk about that. What's up, Todd? I appreciate you tuning in. Let's talk about this defense. Like, are you worried? We'll talk about both sides of the ball, but are you worried about this defense?
A little bit, yeah. I can't lie. I'm worried in the sense that our secondary will look better when Jair's back. You're missing one of the top corners when he's healthy. The one thing, and fans have been harping about it a bunch, it's just defensive line is they got – when it mattered, Carl Brooks got a sack. Wooden and him met in the middle on Stafford again for a second one, but it's just the pressure on the quarterback is not happening. And now is another week where the Rams offensive line, they have their left tackle, left guard, and center all on IR, and it still just looked like we could not get to Stafford if we were sending 11 people, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because I was thinking that like during my live stream, I was like, I kind of like try to like for people who can't watch the game or whatever, and like it seemed like over and over, I was like clean pocket. Stafford's had a clean pocket. He might have got rushed at the very end sometimes, but like there was very few times. It felt like 10% of the time where he actually had to like panic. Yeah, they have to get pressure on the quarterback. Like that is like so key.
And I think our expectations were so high because they were even under Joe Barry. Yeah, he sent 3 sometimes, which was frustrating, but we still got some pressure. And this defensive line, and me saying this isn't saying we're not talented. Like Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, Lucas Van Ness, and Ubari is decent when he gets a chance to rush a quarterback, but it's just, I don't know what it is. If they're just being too cautious to try to stop the run, which we can't really do that well either. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe I have too much hope on struggling over here.
Yeah, you died. Get a drink, bro.
I know. I don't know.
This is a funny comment right here. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? All right, so let's talk about Romeo Dobbs, and we're gonna talk about the offense a little bit. But Romeo Dobbs situation, I feel like we're missing some information here. I feel like, and I don't know that we deserve that information, but like we don't have the whole story. Everyone. If you watch press conferences and you watch interviews and you watch Packers social media content, Romeo Dobbs is a very quiet dude, very like to himself, doesn't seem to like a lot of attention, doesn't like to be loud. He just wants to go about his business. So like this whole business with like, he's mad that he's not getting enough reps for everyone. He's like the 3rd in receptions for the Packers coming in to this game. I just feel like something's missing here, and I don't know what it is, and I'm not trying to like pry or whatever, really. But I think that Packer fans need to just calm down with Romeo, and like next week, assuming he comes back, everything's going to be golden. They figured it out. LaFleur, Goody, they all had a nice conversation. I don't know what's going on here, but I do feel like we're missing something, and I think people need to pump the brakes on the Romeo Dobbs hate. And I'm not saying that you're giving them hate, but what are your thoughts on the whole Romeo Dobbs thing?
I 1,000% agree with you. I think there's definitely more to the story. You can't complain. I guess you could. It just doesn't make sense. Like you're saying, you're the 3rd most targeted guy. You're involved when Jordan Love is playing. Like there were 2 games this season when no receiver was involved because your quarterback was throwing the ball 14 times a game. So I'm with you. I think there's more to it. It had to be something that's been bubbling up for a while, either going from last year to now, and I don't know, got sick of it. And the part, and it's been tweeted out a bunch, for them to have to send like a wellness check to his house is another one to where like they had to be pretty worried about something. You know what I mean? So I know he no showed him or anything, but it's just there's more to it. I'm still Team Dobbs. They'll figure it out. It sucks that it happened. He got suspended. He also didn't go to practice. It is what it is. This happens in the NFL. As annoying as it can be as a fan because you want to watch them on Sunday, I'm sure they'll figure it out. Because they reported people were calling about trade offers, and we said no. Like, we were not interested.
Yeah. So I think it was something else. I'm gonna get to this comment right here, and then we'll talk about this. This guy has the second most targets, receptions, and yards on the team this season. If he really wants to be that much of a diva about it, then just get him out of here. At the NFL level, no player that selfish and childish is worth it. See, I just think that we don't have enough of the story. I don't think he's being a diva. Like, dude, have you ever watched Romeo Dobbs like talk and like how he's not a diva. He's not out here talking, I'm gonna get all these catches and I'm the man. He's not doing that. So that's why I feel like it's not strictly like what we heard. I'm not saying the reporting's bad because Bill Huber is a good reporter and all that, but I just feel like the whole story isn't out. You know what I mean? The whole story isn't out. And we'll talk about this next week. But I want to talk about this game. Who was on this game? Who was playing for this game? And let's talk about the offense. Struggled early on. Dude, I was yelling the whole game, like, just run the ball, dude. Like, why are we not running? I feel like, and I thought they were going to run heavy. I thought that they would pass heavy because the Rams were the 31st in passing yards on defense. So, like, they're not, that's not good. There's only 32 teams, right? So, like, they're going to pass a lot. But also, Josh Jacobs is, whenever LaFleur, like, with Aaron Jones in the past, he didn't use him enough. People were like yelling, like, why are you using Aaron Jones? Give Aaron Jones the ball. So that next game, he would be like, I kind of slacked off on running the ball. So he'd go heavy. So I kind of thought that that's the game plan that they're going to go with. And I felt like if they did, I wish that they would have the game plan like with Malik Willis on offense. Run the ball, but then also take your shots because Jordan Love can swing that thing. And I know Malik Willis being early in the offense, not having a lot of the whole grasp of the whole offense, they didn't really trust him to like throw that thing around. And they had a good game plan for him. I feel like they should have stuck kind of with that game plan, but just sprinkle some other stuff in because obviously Jordan Love is more capable because he knows the offense better. But I don't really care for the game plan all that much, but like I'm sure Matt LaFleur is devastated by this news.
Next week, Josh Jacobs will get 40 carries.
He's watching right now. He's in his office. He's probably in Lombardi's office watching this. He's like, screw that guy. We're gonna run Josh Jacobs next week. But what was your thought on this offense? Same question. Like, are you worried at all about this offense?
No, not really with the offense. I think we saw last year too. They started slow at the rate in the early parts of the season, and then the end of the year just on fire. I think it's going to be the same thing now. The good news is our slow time looks a hell of a lot better than it did at the beginning of last season. Love is still making some dumb mistakes. His Will Levis impression out of the end zone, trying to get the ball away. I get it. You don't want to give up a sack, but we just saw what happens when you try to do that. It turns into a pick six. But Josh Jacobs, he's not going to be that home run as of now. He's had some moments with the Raiders. It just looks right now he's going to be a consistent running back to get. There's a couple times at the end of the game, he got a first down for us. It was like, I don't know, first, second, and 10. He got the first down, picked up 8 yards on another run. He's going to be that kind of running back. I don't foresee him taking the ball 70 yards for a touchdown. I just don't think that's going to be his role on the team. Emmanuel Wilson maybe. It seems to have a little more explosiveness to him. But Josh Jacobs is always going to fight for the yards, and I think we'll get him more and more involved. I'm with you. I was a little surprised we didn't run as much this game because the Rams' run defense is so awful. But who knows? Maybe we were planning to run a bunch until Tucker Kraft took the ball 66 yards. And so him just being selfish kind of took carries away from Josh Jacobs. But,
that was a beautiful thing. Tucker Kraft. Let's talk about Tucker Kraft. My fantasy tight end, I will admit, first time I started him, I think I had him all last year. I'm not sure I started him at all last year. But first time because, he had a big game last year or last week. And I have that dude from the Ravens, and they don't even know he's a tight end. They don't know he can catch balls anymore. They forgot. He probably had a game today. He probably balled out. Who knows? But
I don't think he had a single catch.
Yeah, he probably didn't, and because they're just not using him like that right now, which is fine because they don't care about my fantasy stuff. But anyways, Tucker Kraft, they drafted Musgrave, they drafted Tucker Kraft, and Musgrave was supposed to be that guy, and I still think he is that guy. Like he is a guy. I like Musgrave a lot, but Tucker Kraft, dude, like that touchdown, that big one, like. I love Tucker Kraft. I think I'm gonna get an 85 jersey. I keep buying these jerseys, but I don't wear jerseys that much. So like I even today I was like, oh, what jersey should I wear? I was like, I'll just wear this Quick Trip hoodie instead because it's kind of cold down here. I'm in a basement, but I think Tucker Kraft this year, like he's showing like he can be that guy. So I think it's gonna be fun to watch Tucker Kraft this year. But yeah, this offense, I feel like even like today, like throughout the whole game, like they didn't really have an identity. Like they don't teams like they get the flow, like you kind of get like what they're trying to do. I felt like they were just kind of like me playing Madden, just random stuff, random, But I do love that Jaden Reed. Let's talk about him, but like before, like pre-snap, Jaden Reed runs more than I run in a week. Like he's just out in the backfield. I'm not sure if it's organized or he's just running around back there. Sometimes they hand it to him, sometimes they don't. But man, Jaden Reed, when they have that like end around, like it's not even really an end around. It's just kind of like he just runs past and they kind of fake it to the running back and then they kind of hand it to him. But Jaden Reed is so good at football, dude. He's so fun to watch. But dude, they need to get a lot more of that. Oh, I don't know where I was going with it. I'm not sure there's a question there, but you talk now.
I was like, he's insane. Like you're saying, all the motion that he's doing is nuts. He has to put so many miles on his feet during these games because he's constantly in motion. Or he'll go halfway to Jordan Love, then turn around and do like a little sometimes a wheel route, sometimes like a little out pass, and it's just he's doing everything. Deep threat, yards after catch person, getting him the ball in open space. Like Jaden Reed's a weapon. I'm excited to just have this receiving core. I don't want it to be like last year when someone was constantly out. Like we never had that core unit together. And I just want games with Dobbs, Watson, Reed, and Wicks. If Wicks is going to start catching the ball, I'm going to bet my life on it, mainly because I really want it to happen. But having those four together, Tucker Kraft becoming a monster, and then you just have Luke Musgrave. That's just like a cherry on top of like, yeah, we could use him if we want. I don't know if we need to, but we can figure something out. But no, I actually think you made a good point on the offense. It didn't seem like it got into a groove where we've seen LaFleur cook, where it's just like everything's working one thing after another. And it kind of seems like that Tucker Kraft thing, relying on a big play, that bomb down the field to Jaden Reed, relying on a big play. Before that, they had that 3 and out. So it still seems like they're trying to find that groove. And right now they're doing the old spray and pray method. And we're living off explosive plays, but that doesn't last forever.
That's the thing about the explosive plays. Like it'll be like 3rd and 3, and then I don't have an exact example, but like there was one where I'm like, dude, why are we going for the home run ball? Like let's get the first down. Like why don't we have Reed just run up in the middle of the field, or Kraft or whoever? I don't care who's the name on a jersey, someone. But like no, let's just yeet it downfield on a go route, and it's like that. If it works, like you're a genius, but like I feel like if it's like a 3rd down, like let's get like a for sure first down. Let's not get crazy. Even in Madden, I don't get that ballsy. Just man, they have more confidence in themselves than I do in me and Madden, my Madden skills. But that drives me nuts. And the same thing like back when Rodgers was here, that was kind of the same thing. A lot of times like 3rd and 1, and then they're throwing a 40-yard pass. And I get it. Like you get the right matchup. I think it's all about numbers. It's all about percentages. Like, all right, we got this guy. He's 1-on-1. That's whatever. I don't remember if it was 1-on-1, but yeah, I would like to see this offense just get a little bit more like screen pass, like they were doing, right? Yeah. They were doing a lot. They knew what worked. Yeah. Which was a lot. Like they run to the left. That pitch to the left. How many times did they do that?
It was insane. We stopped one, and I was like, finally, someone learned that the ball can be run outside, and you have to go and tackle the person. But I think we only stopped like one. Besides that, it was always at least 3 yards of carry. At least 3 yards.
I was saying that on my stream. I was like, they run left. They do that pitch to the left. It works. They run up the middle. It works. They kind of do that like a little slide thing to the right. That works. Why are you throwing the ball? They were just like running. But the Packers, they got it. But yeah, Wicks. That is one thing I did want to touch on because you brought up Wicks. You think he's going to start catching the ball because Wicks is the guy that everyone was like very, very high on. He had his opportunity today. Watson's out, Dobbs was out. This was his time. He's got to catch that ball though. But yeah, I think Wicks is the guy. But like contested catches, I think is what you said. It was like not ideal, but I still ride with Wicks.
Oh, for sure. And I think he'll start. We saw last year he was able to make some plays and he's had some contested catches before, so it's not like he can't do it. It's almost like he has just like the yips. Like he's just in his head so much. Where like when the kicker comes and misses a couple and then you're just like our kicker and you get nervous every time they go out there. Like that just seems like Wicks right now. I'm just when the ball is thrown to him, it's like I think he's just in his head so much. Yeah, that last play that people are saying it was a bad throw by Love. It went through his open hands.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You just gotta put them together.
Yeah, you just gotta bring those things close. I think I said that like on the first look, it did look like a bad throw if it's the right one. Where I was like, that's bad. But then the replay, we're like, oh no, that went right through his hands. Like you gotta catch that thing. But let's get to this comment right here. LaFleur said in the post game that Love has all the confidence in his receivers catching the ball, and then that's the thing. And you should, because I don't like that. Like with Rodgers back in the day, a guy would drop the ball and you kind of just wouldn't go back to him. I do think that you should go right back to him. You should try to get them, get their confidence up. But like hopefully they catch it. But yeah, you're open. The ball's to you. You got to catch that thing. You know what I mean?
There's only one way to get the confidence back up. It's just giving them chances to actually catch it. Eventually they'll catch one.
And I think maybe even like simplify it a little bit. Like I was saying that at halftime, I was like, just simplify the offense, slow it down. Like short passes, screens, like all this stuff. Just try to get first down, try to get things rolling. But Cody says one thing we got to do is when we lead, we got to stop playing soft. Yeah, and I mean I think a lot of teams do that. Like it's not like soft, but like it was soft. But like they try to like keep everything in front of them. So no big plays over the top, but by doing that, you're playing soft because you're like allowing this underneath stuff. And the idea is to tackle, make him use timeouts. Don't let him get big chunks at a time. But like, yeah, it gets the anxiety flowing a little bit when he gets towards the end. But
but the problem too is it seemed like we couldn't keep them in bounds. Like it seemed like every time they caught the ball, they were going right out. So like. The playing soft part was fine as long as you do the tackling, and we weren't doing that. We were just like, we'll let you get 8 yards and go out of bounds. And a smart quarterback and smart head coach like they have are just gonna be like, all right, that's fine. We'll march down the field. And thankfully it didn't work. But I mean, I was so damn nervous. I gotta ask you one question though.
All right, what do you got? Then we get to that one.
What was going through your mind on that second drive when Love bombed the ball into triple coverage before Reed caught it? Like, dude, what were you thinking?
I think I was yelling, like, that's triple coverage. There's guys all over. I thought that was a horrible decision, but Love threw that ball in the only place that he could have caught it. And I'm not saying that that's what, when quarterbacks throw, they're not, I'm going to throw it right here. That's where it's going to be. Like, they're throwing it. Travis trying to get in the right spot, but dude, there was hands like that was so close to being batted down, and then for Reed to catch it, because with all those people around you, that was a wild play. And I said that during my live stream. I was like, dude, I mean, I'm not saying it was triple, but there was 3 guys around. One of them really wasn't as close as it seemed, but like there was definitely 2 guys like right there, and third guy running up. That was ridiculous play. I was freaking out.
Yeah, I was yelling. I was like, "Well, there's an interception." Then he comes down with it. I was like, "I'm an idiot. That was a great throw, Love. Great job."
Yeah. In the air, I was like, "What's going?" It wasn't good. I want to get to one of these comments right here. I think I missed it now. No, I forget where it was. All right, here. Nope. Oh yeah, right here. This is someone who was on my live stream. Why go deep on third down toward the end of the game? Matt about stroked out on us. That's so true. I broke. I was like, dude, I hate that.
Yeah.
Third down, throwing deep. Like you say, if it works, it's great. But nervous, and like he didn't miss a field goal today.
Yeah.
So we got a week of not trying to kill our kicker.
Yeah. 1 week, hit a 44 or whatever it was. Either way, I'll take it.
You know what I mean?
Be nervous every damn game. If that makes you hit the field goals, get an anxiety attack. I don't care. As long as you're hitting them, we're moving.
Yeah, we definitely do. Especially like we got the Texans coming up. Not this week, but they're looking good.
Yeah,
dude. I watched a little bit again, and I was like, because at first, Texans were like, oh, they're not as good as we thought they were, but now I'm like, no, I think they are.
Yeah,
the Texans are doing their thing. They're rolling.
It's crazy too because they're a stacked wide receiver room with Nico, Stephon Diggs, and they got Tank Dell too. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game. That's gonna be a tough one.
It really is. So let's talk about this right here. Jets said, praying that Watson is able to come back next week. We need our wide receiver one on the field. I'm not sure if he's coming back next week. I think that they were saying that kind of like a week or two or whatever. It'll be nice to have him and Dobbs both back. Dobbs, I expect to be back.
Yeah.
But Watson, I'm not so sure. Dude, and first of all, and people, dude, I saw so many people talking about Watson's soft. Like, bro, did you see the injury?
Yeah.
Like, he was standing there, his foot got rolled up on. That's not soft. That's football. That's an injury that happens when a human rolls up on your ankle. Your ankle doesn't like that. Like, I don't get the whole soft thing. I get it if a guy has over and over non-contact injuries. And even then, I'm not going to say soft, but like, I get it. You're like, all right, this guy's injury prone. Like his hamstring, he's got an issue. Anytime, it's a lot of non-contact injuries. But like, dude, he got his ankle rolled up on. Like, it looked horrible. I didn't like to see the replays when that happened. And people are like, he's soft. Like, no, it's not soft, bro. That's just a unfortunate thing. Love didn't throw a great ball, and he kind of had to go back, and it was a whole thing. But like, dude, this guy is soft because like what his ankle isn't like superhuman. I don't know. You know what I mean?
It makes no sense. I don't know. That's especially out of all plays, when you see his body bent over, his foot pointing a little bit backwards on the angle. It's like, yeah. Like I said, I thought he blew his knee out. I thought just a twist in the leg, him falling back. I was like, well, we'll see you next year, bud. But thankfully he can come back, and we'll need him. But I'm with you. I don't think it'll be this week. I think we do get Dobbs back, and just having that, because they all bring something so different. Watson's just ridiculous speed, big receiver. Looked like he was starting to play with it too this year. Jump ball catch against the Titans, I think it was. And then Dobbs is Mr. Consistency. And I think that's what we're missing right now is Reed has those explosive plays. Wicks is struggling with catching it right now. And it's Dobbs is that one when it's 3rd and 10. You look for him because he's going to be open and he's going to catch it. So we definitely miss that today.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
What's up, Rick? He said, I'm worried about Murray running wild next week on the D. What are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I think we'll go back to the game plan we had week 1 and 2, where we were just, which I was going to say, where the defense doesn't really try to get pressure, but I don't think we strayed away from that game plan all that much right now. So, but yeah, it's going to have to contain them. And I think Walker is going to definitely be a QB spy a lot of that game, or McDuffie, whichever linebacker. But yeah, we're going to want to get controlled pressure to where you're pushing the pocket back a little bit, but not giving them too many openings. And how you do that, no damn clue. But hopefully they can.
They better figure it out, though.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about Quay Walker? Like, he was like kind of all over the place today, but like he was always around situations. But first glance, obviously like watching the game, what did you think?
He's everywhere. The problem is, and I say this wearing his jersey, I do love you, love you, Quay, and I think you can become a good linebacker. Hopefully, I'm very biased. It just seems like he makes a lot of mental errors. Like he'll be there, but not too often. I don't have confidence that if he's making the right read, that he's going to make the tackle. Like as much of a freak athlete he is and a big body, it seems like it's so easy for those running backs or even receivers at times just kind of bounce off him or get through his arms. And I don't know what it is with him, but we'll see himself take him out of plays sometimes. And I think it's just hopefully him kind of still learning the new scheme. Hafley has confidence that he's starting to call the right plays, even in practice before he gives it to him. And so he's starting to take ownership a bit, but it just seems like he's not a sure stop. Like if he's in the backfield and hits him for a 2-yard loss, it's still probably going to somehow turn it, like turn into a 3
Yeah,
yard
he
gain.
kind of he kind of bounces off that thing. And I wonder if he's thinking too much before, like when he gets there, like if he's not that he doesn't know the game plan or whatever, but like he's not as just moving.
Yeah.
He's kind of thinking a little bit, but yeah, he's got to be more just like going after, especially when he's right there, because it seems like he can slow some guys up, and then other people come in and clean it up because he's around the ball.
Yeah.
But he's just, he's just not that one that solo tackle like in the backfield. It seems like you say, guys kind of bounce off him a little bit.
The effort's always
how to
there.
get around him. Yeah,
Like you said, he's always going to be there. He's never going to give up on a play, but he needs to start making some damn plays.
yeah. So let's talk about Jair a little bit. Jesse says if we have Ja Money on one side and Carrington Valentine on the other side, our defense will be really good. Hopefully, Ja can come back next week. And I think that Jair is playing next week. I think that was kind of the thing. And I saw a report earlier today where they said he's not playing today, kind of hold him out for next week. I expect him to come back, but he's another one people are like, he's made a class. But hopefully,
Yeah.
but yeah, when he's on the field, the Packers are a really good defense. And that's one thing I'll talk about Jair, because everyone was so upset, he's not playing this and that. But last year, a lot of the same people wanted him cut when that whole suspension thing happened. The same thing with Dobbs. Everyone wants people cut. But you don't cut guys because there's a hiccup. You fix it. Good teams fix it. Good teams sit down with the players and say, hey, what's the problem? Like, what are you thinking? And here's our thing, whatever. Fix it. And if you can't, then you get rid of them. But the same thing with Dobbs this year. I mean, obviously it's not the same exact thing, but you fix players who aren't maybe happy or whatever the situation is. But yeah, Jair, like when he's on the field, obviously a lot better for the Packers. Like when he's missing, I mean, I wouldn't say luckily because I don't like to see injuries, but Kupp wasn't playing today, so that our corner was out, their wide receiver was out. Call it a squash or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and like if you have Eric Stokes or Carrington Valentine as your number 2. That's a fine cornerback there for a cornerback number 2. It has not turned out well for a cornerback 1. So yeah, having Ja back is going to be very important. And I think Valentine, to his comment too, I think he's played himself into that number 2 spot because Stokes is struggling a bit, which stinks. I'm hoping he can find his footing and get back into the groove, but he's definitely struggling the last couple games for sure. But yeah, we need Jair back. But to your point, when you're talking about Dobbs and Jair the last couple years, at what point do we worry though that I don't want to say Green Bay handles players wrong or anything or not? Because I don't think so. Obviously, Jair's back and they're on good terms. But now 2 years in a row where you have this weird situation where a player's pissed and does something to get suspended, like Jair last year, blatantly doesn't show up to practice this year. Like, at what point do we get a little worried that, like, is something going – obviously, we don't know the full story, and the Green Bay is never going to let us know the dumb stuff they did. They'll let us know the dumb stuff the player did. But, like, at what point do we worry, like, a bit that something's going on to piss all these people off?
Well, I think with Jair, it was Barry. Like, they kind of scheme.
Yeah.
And he wasn't happy with, like, whatever's happened. I guess it's the same thing this year with Dobbs. That's kind of the story we have. I still think we're missing something. I'm not sure that was the full story. But yeah, I'm not too worried, but I care more about how they handle the situation, like when it pops up. Like things are gonna pop up because these are humans and they're, whatever. But like, how does the coaching staff handle it? And like I say, if the player, you can't make them happy, and that's a cancer in the locker room. If someone doesn't want to be there, I don't think Dobbs said, "I don't want to be here." I think there was some kind of thing that happened. They suspended him. They all seem to love the guy. I think there's more to it, but I expect when he comes back, he's gonna be good. But I do want to give a shout out to someone in the chat here, Mickey. Congrats on your win coming from Chiefs Kingdom. Did the Chiefs win today?
I don't think play tomorrow. I don't think.
Yeah, I didn't play tomorrow, but the Chiefs doing good. But shout out to Chiefs. You know what I mean? But all right. So let's talk about Rashawn Gary. All right. How about Gary being choked all day? I know a lot of people are talking about Rashawn Gary is missing this and that. I was kind of paying attention today, like during the game. Like he's got the effort there. Like I feel like he's getting after it, but he's getting choked out a little bit. But what are your thoughts on Rashawn Gary?
I'm a little worried. just not the impact you would want or expect.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I hate to be the one to be like, oh, you make so much money, but we did just sign him, and we don't. It takes a lot to get a second contract from the Packers, and we gave him a lot of money. What was it, like $24 million a year? It's just not. And going to a new scheme, the whole idea was like, yeah, we're gonna get so much pressure. It's just not happening. And I saw the stat. I think I might have said it on the Tuesday show we do, but he's below average on pressure rate, and he's leading the team, at least before this game, leading the team being below average, which is not great. At least he's leading the team, I guess. But something has to happen. Like, we have to have that Rashawn Gary breakout game. We did last year when we played the Lions. He disappeared for a little bit after his contract, had that 3-sack game against the Lions, and then kind of quieted everyone down for a bit. But it's just I'd rather have consistency out of him than a random game where he gets 3 sacks, because that's for longevity of the defense. He has to be there every game, wreaking havoc on that offensive line. And it's just not there right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I like, it's a new scheme. I love Rashawn Gary, and I think like the numbers will come. I feel like he's like a high motor guy, so he's not like he's not slacking off. It's not like, I got paid, I don't care anymore. Like, he's the type of guy, like, his motor is like on 100 all the time. Like, so I think new scheme, but whatever the reason, not just him. Like, they're not getting a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
and they got to fix that. They got to fix that with quickness, especially when you're playing teams like the Texans, teams that have an elite quarterback and a good offensive line. Like, you can't just let them sit back there, because scrub quarterbacks will tear you apart. You have to get pressure. I don't care what you have to do. Blitz, bring your mama, bring somebody. Someone's got to. Kenny Clark had some stuff today, because people have been hard on Kenny Clark, who I love. But Kenny Clark, there was one play. It was a run play, but if it wasn't, if he'd have kept that thing, Kenny Clark would have killed him. He was like up the middle, and I was like, oh, but he handed it off, and then it ended up being a decent play. But Kenny Clark was in the backfield a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm with you too. I don't think it's any of these players, which is the nice thing for the Packers, is all of our players are high effort players. Like, Rashawn's not taking plays off. Clark, Preston, like, it's not like they're on the field going like half speed. So I'm with you on that 100%. They're all high motor. They're all trying to make the play. It's just something's not clicking right now. I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, and I think that, they'll figure this thing out. Let's get to a comment right here. Just said, what do you think of the NFL finding Matt LaFleur? I think that was ridiculous. The ref that looked right at him when Matt was calling a timeout, but just ignored it and costed Matt money. The ref should have been fined, not Matt. What do y'all think about that? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I thought.
And for reference, people are talking. He's talking about last week against the Vikings. Matt LaFleur was fine when he ripped his helmet, his headset off. He was trying to call a timeout. He kind of ran down the field, whatever, got unsportsmanlike conduct. Just so people know who might not know what's going on here.
Yeah, it sucks. I think it's a dumb penalty. I get it makes sense on the fine because they gave him that penalty. And if you're going to give it to the players, you got to give it to the head coach, because you don't want to look like you're only giving it to players. So the fine part makes sense. It was dumb. The ref should have realized he's calling a timeout because of the hand signal and the screaming the word timeout.
This kind of motion, jumping up and down.
Yeah, apparently that he didn't know what that meant.
He's like, this guy's freaking out. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. I think
this guy's having a tantrum. But yeah, it is what it is. He's rich enough, he can handle it.
The money aspect isn't going to hurt Matt LaFleur. I think he's doing all right. $14,000 ain't going to hurt him. But like, I get like the fine or whatever, but like I love it. I don't care if he got fined. I know it's not my money. He's like, hey, that's my money. But like, I don't care that he got fined. I don't care that he got a penalty. I want a coach that's going to get fired up. I want Matt LaFleur to be, not getting penalties or whatever, but like I want a coach. You want to have the composure and all that. Matt LaFleur, I'm sure, would say the same thing. Because he said it in one of the interviews. He's like, I expect certain type of composure for my players to keep their, not let the steam out. And so I can't be out here doing that, because how can I tell you to calm down when I'm over here freaking out? But I love it. Sometimes a coach needs to get fired up. I love those old Holmgren days when he'd grab Brett Favre by the face mask and he'd be like, "Get over here!" and just start yelling. Like, I like that when that needs to happen, or if you got to yell at a ref once in a while. Like I love all that. But yeah, the penalties suck. But I don't think anyone's stressing about Matt LaFleur's $14,000 fine. I mean, like, he'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm convinced that's what sparked that comeback, because you you needed somebody to have some kind of life brought into the team, and you have your head coach screaming at ref, getting in their face. You got a penalty, suck. You got a touchdown anyway, so screw it. Do it every damn week. I don't care. But I was pumped up. I was ready to start tackling my own children just to let them know.
Just trip them as they walk by. Just let them know. But yeah, dude, I like that. Like, and people talk about that, like with Brady. You know how he was always like, he's pulling a tantrum, and Roger. Dude, if you don't show that you don't care, like that's not the way to go. I mean, and not every player is gonna be all jacked up all the time and all whatever. But like, I like it. Get fired up. Show everyone you care. Like, yeah, I'm with it. I like a coach who just yelled at people. Remember back Mike Sherman and Sapp going after it? That's like one of my favorite memories from a coach. Is like he was like about to go toe to toe with one of the strongest, meanest defensive players in the league at that time. And Mike Sherman's like, I ain't scared of you.
Yeah, I love that, man. You have to. Like, I'm not gonna take your crap. I'll get whooped for sure, but I'm at least gonna try. You know,
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. You ain't ever gonna see me talking trash to a defensive lineman, defensive tackle, anyone, or any athlete at all, really, or pretty much anyone. On the internet, I'm about it. In real life, I shut up. All right, so I see this comment over here. The Bears fans have been talking mad junk today after beating Carolina. Bears fans are all excited. I mean, that's what it is. I saw that like on Red Zone earlier. I was like, oh, the Bears are beating up on the Panthers. So I think they're 3-2 as well.
Yep.
So that's what it is. Packers, the Bears are 3-2. Vikings are undefeated. What's the Lions' record? They got one loss, don't they?
Yeah, they're 3-1. They didn't. They had a bye this week, so 3-1.
Yeah. They didn't play today for sure.
Yeah.
So the NFC North, dude.
Yeah.
It's closer than you thought, right?
I thought it was going to be tough. I just did not think the Vikings were going to be in the mix. I thought the Bears honestly were going to look a little bit better than they have. And like, I get them talking trash because they haven't been here before, where it's like already,
dude, I would talk trash too.
Yeah. And they're a little bit relevant. So they're like, oh, this is new.
But they're not doing nothing.
No, they're gonna implode. Same with the Vikings. And I was talking to my dad today. Fast forward 2 weeks, we beat the Cardinals. After that, we got the Texans. Let's say we win those 2 games. Vikings lose we're tied up at that point. Like, it's so early in the season. Teams are gonna get excited. You still have Sam Darnold. He did not look that great today. Rodgers, I love you now that you're out the team and your performance doesn't impact the draft for the team. So all the best in the world. You look like trash right now. And for them to almost lose to this version of Rodgers and a Jets team that is still the Jets, it's like they're going to come back down to earth. I'm not worried about that. They're not as good as their record shows, which congrats. Again, you have 5 wins. I wish we did. But it's going to be the same thing as a couple years ago. It's not a real contender yet.
Yeah, the Vikings. I remember back in the day they started 6-0. They start strong, then they collapse. Dude, the Vikings. Don't think that they're a threat to anyone in the NFC. I don't care about undefeated. It's fun. You're a Vikings fan. Enjoy it. Have a good time. Talk trash. I get it. I would too. But like, I'm not. You're not winning nothing, dude. You're not winning. You had those 70s defenses, couldn't win. There's something that I don't know what happened. There was like someone sold their soul to the devil to get the team even born. I don't know what happened, but like, they're jinxed. They had Chris Carter and Randy Moss on the same team. They had that Randy. Was that Culpepper? That 98 team. They had the number one offense, the highest scoring offense ever at that time. Couldn't get it done. Like, they had some really, really great teams. They can't get it done. They had Brett Favre, NFC Championship game. Couldn't get it done. The Vikings are never going to win anything. Until they prove it, like I don't care if you're 13-0, bro. I'm still saying you're not gonna, And even when they win a playoff game, they call it a miracle. So like everyone understands the situation. They want to play off. You're like, it's a miracle, miracle in Motown or whatever it was. It screw them. They suck.
Yeah.
They're not a good franchise. I like what Aaron Nagler says. They're a plastic franchise. It was a made up franchise. They just threw all the things together. It was like chili. Like, here it is. Your culture's gonna be, we're gonna steal this soccer team song. We're gonna clap like this and call it skull. We're gonna get a big horn up here. We're gonna blow into it. It's gonna make a loud noise. That's all. That's all it is.
And
Anyways.
and just to remind, like the Eagles started 10-1 last season and they finished 10-7.
Yeah,
and lost to the Buccaneers in the playoffs. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish.
Yep.
That's what it is. Someone commented on my Facebook and they said that if you're not first, you're last. I kind of assumed it was a Vikings fan. I'm like, yeah, at the end of the season, that's exactly what it is. Not in week 5. Because no one's last, no one's first. I mean, there's people that are first, but like it doesn't matter until playoff time. Right now, everyone's just trying to get into playoffs, trying to get grooved, trying to get, stay healthy, get in position to win this thing. Vikings are obviously in great position. Hopefully Aaron Jones is all right. He screwed me today in my fantasy, but whatever. I hope he's okay. But hopefully, and my money. I had Prize Picks. I won all my Prize Pick bets, but Aaron Jones got hurt. But so they kind of like refund it, that part. They kind of take him off the bet. So I still won. I don't know how much I won yet, but they just kind of take a little bit off, because it's like, if it's like 25 times the winnings, with like 6 bets, now it's 5, so it'll whatever. Either way, I won.
That's
and
all that
also I'll say it's like this new software I'm using. I'm never using this again. I just paid for this. I'm gonna ask for a refund. I don't like it. It's all glitchy. It's all weird. It's not really doing what I want. I'm going back to where I was going before. But anyways, appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight for this show. We have a comment down here, but like everything's so laggy. Even the comments, I'm trying to get the comments up here. It's like it's not good. You gotta try new stuff sometimes, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, the only way to figure it out. You gotta go for it.
You know what I mean? Heck, already Aaron Jones is hurting. Now have you all heard the news? If true, I don't know what news you're talking about, but Aaron Jones is hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what news either.
I don't know what news is happening. But Matt, what's it like tailgating at Lambeau? I got experience Lambeau. Oh, I got to experience Lambeau once before God calls me home. Yeah, Lambeau's awesome. I'll say this to anyone going to Lambeau Field, go to Lot 1. You don't know where to tailgate, just walk around Lot 1. There's such good tailgate. They got shot skis. You just go around, drink with people. You have a good time. If you don't drink, maybe don't go to Lot 1. I don't know. But Lot 1 is a great experience. There's a lot of great people down there. And if you are down at Lot 1, look up. If you see my logo, that MR, that's my guy over there. Those are my people. I'm not always there, obviously, but they'll take care of you. Tell them Matt Ramage sent you. They'll get you a shot.
Get them out of alcohol now. 100 people show up.
Yeah, Aaron Jones got a hip. I like how coaches say it. He's got a hip. Yeah,
got
so
a hip.
His is hurt, but hopefully it's not too bad. I didn't really see it. I just saw like after I saw my phone light up and it's like, hey, Aaron Jones. I was like, son of a, he's my fantasy guy. I was like, I'm getting toasted. Let me like look at this real quick. See how bad I'm getting beat right now. Dude, they have 127.5 points. I'm playing it. The person I have has 127.5 points. I have 78. That is like, but I have Lamar Jackson on my bench, and he's got 41 points.
What quarterback did you start above Lamar Jackson?
Jordan Love. He had 19, but basically 20 points.
Yeah, still not bad,
but yeah, that was a homer. That was a homer pick. But Lamar Jackson, their offense is so unpredictable. The Ravens, and not like good and bad, but like they run the ball out. They don't care about my fantasy points. You know what I mean? So Lamar Jackson, but he usually does pretty good. I suck at fantasy football. What are you gonna do?
You were in the championship last year.
I was. I should have won it. I just forgot to start someone because the guy was hurt. I didn't notice it. Like halfway before the game, like, oh, he's not playing. It sucked. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, happens to the best of them.
It does. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Everyone, this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, Jimmy will be joining me talking about this game more than what we just did.
Yeah. I'll give you the old rewatch without kids, so I have more insight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll probably rewatch tonight. Maybe not tonight because I'm drinking. I'll forget. But we'll be on and we'll talk about next week's game. We'll talk about stuff. So Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Check out me and Jimmy, and you can also find Jimmy's writing at the Pack Report, right? And Pack a Day podcast every Sunday. So are you doing a podcast tonight?
No, it comes out on Sunday, so we record usually either Friday night or Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. You guys are a dignified podcast. You guys actually plan stuff.
No, I don't. Kind of like
what do you talk
show
about?
up.
So what'd you talk about? Because that comes out today, right?
Yeah, it comes out in
the
right away in the morning. Yeah, so we do the pregame.
All right.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
just
So
offensive, defensive keys. Pretty much everything that we say we think's going to happen, and then that doesn't happen is what we talk about.
Were you right on anything?
I talked, No, I was like 0 for 100, honestly.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, check us out. Next Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Big shout out to Jimmy. It's always fun talking to him. And I will never use this platform again, so we're going to go back to the normal stuff. And even if it is super expensive. But go Pack Go, people. Thanks for watching Packers 3-2. Big